So DC has made an animated movie of their classic graphic novel, The Killing Joke, by Alan Moore and Brian Bolland. I want to watch it, tell you what I think about it, but before I do that, I thought I should give this a reread. Bust it out of the shrink wrap. For the first time in a long time. The book came out in 1988, I think. Iconic image. It's also the cover of the Blu-ray, incidentally. And this has been in a long box for, I don't know, forever. It still has that musty, old ink smell. Look, I'll be honest. There's probably going to be some spoilers during this review. This book is kind of a big deal in the comics world, and I don't know how I can tell you about that without kind of letting the cat out of the bag. But you've had 20 years or more to read this. It's not my fault if you haven't gotten around to it. Alright, so I finished the book, I reread it, and it holds up very well, I'm very glad to say. 1988 it was released, written by Alan Moore, wonderful. Beautifully illustrated by Brian Bolland. There are some nice little Easter eggs throughout the book. Photographs on desks and on walls that are actually famous cover art of Batman, things like that, or characters you haven't seen in a long time. But there's two reasons this book comes highly recommended. One, it's an origin story of the Joker, widely accepted to be the origin story of the Joker. What made him become the Joker? And it ties into the Red Hood gang in a really cool way. Number two, the Joker is worse than ever in this book when he is in fact the Joker, and he shoots and paralyzes, spoiler alert, Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. And she remained paralyzed for, I don't know, 30 years or so. I think they finally gave her the costume back during one of the recent, reboots. But until then, they were putting other people, other girls in the costume. And Batgirl became Oracle, who was wheelchair bound, but was kind of the, she was the first hacker. The first hacker in popular culture. You'll be glad to know that the movie sticks very closely to the book, word for word in some cases, and the backgrounds, although painterly, are very faithful to the panels in the book. And it's kind of cool, actually. You'll recognize some set pieces, and then to see them rendered in a way that makes them look 3D or whatever, very cool. And there is some 3D flourishes in this movie as well. Now, it'd be a pretty short movie if it only stuck to the book. And so they've bookended it with kind of an alternate storyline. There's a heist and a bad guy with an interest in Batgirl. And spoiler alert, at the beginning, Batman and Batgirl get it on, Marvin Gaye style. And then it tags at the end with the beginning of Oracle. The movie is well worth your time. I was worried about the artwork. You can't animate Brian Boland's artwork. And some still pictures I saw didn't really impress me. But once you see it in motion, and with those great voices and the wonderful score, it really works. Everybody's great in this, but Mark Hamill, if they give out Emmys for Blu-rays, which I'm not even sure they do, but it should be a thing. They give Emmys to streaming services now. This guy deserves an Emmy for his portrayal of the Joker in The Killing Joke. It is on demand. Cost you $5 for the standard, I think, 5 or 6, and 7 or 8 for HD. For that price, though, why not just fork over the rest of the money? Pay $20, get the Blu-ray, and hang on to it for posterity. It's a good flick. It's very dark. It is rated R, and it is not for kids.